Hey, it's Lee, and I want to show you a cool tip for raising quail. Here's my little friends, my little Coturnix, and these girls have been doing a really good job. I've had them for a little while. They produce about 7 of them produce about 18 eggs every 3 days. So that's kind of like an expectation to have, and I can find for my family of 4, about 18 quail eggs every 3 days is plenty. We prefer chicken eggs and duck eggs. There's one of our chickens right here hanging out with the tomato, and so that's what we like the best. But how we set up the pen, I find, is a small space, but just enough space for them. They kind of like a more confined spot, but this is what we built here. So I just use reclaimed wood, which you'll find pretty much anything I make is going to be made of reclaimed wood, because I hate to see stuff go to waste. I use some chicken wire for the front, and then there's also chicken wire underneath, and it's just basically a shed style roof with a center opening section that opens and closes, so you have a lot of access. And I like that, so you can get way back into the nest and do all the stuff that you need to do. And right now I'm going to be cleaning their cage out, and I want to show you my favorite tip. If you can get a hold of it, get yourself some burlap, and you can see why. I'm going to pull this burlap up, and I'm just going to roll it over onto itself. And I've just cleaned most of the nest. Now you might see that there's some mealworms under there, and I'm going to shake the nest, or excuse me, not the nest, all the debris just over the top of some plants, because a lot of the dry stuff, a lot of the dry manure is pretty nice. And I'm going to take my spent burlap, and I'm going to stretch it out in a special area where it gets plenty of water, and that'll just lay there and get water, and it'll rinse itself off. You know, in just a month or two, I'll be using it again once I dry it out. And you can see some of the mealworms I introduced into the box that the birds missed are found their way underneath where they're living. And I'm gonna collect those so they don't drop out and give them to the girls. There you guys go. Have some mealworms. So I really recommend raising any kind of insects you can. Mealworms are great. Superworms aren't as productive, but they're bigger, so that makes them better in most people's point of view. I raise cockroaches, all different kinds of stuff, and we feed them throughout the winter to all of our to all of our birds. And the bugs that we feed them eat kitchen scraps. Also, the chickens eat kitchen scraps. But we get lots of organic stuff, so it's no problem. And I'm going to use a scraper to clean out the rest of this. But when I put the burlap back down this time, I'm going to stretch it out over the whole area. And I've got 2 new sheets of burlap that I set over here somewhere. And I get burlap for free. So I lay the burlap out. It keeps the floor nice and clean. It makes it real easy to clean everything when you're done. And it's something I recommend trying. I think it works great. All right, so I'm going to be using the Sugiban Method. It's a Japanese method of charring wood to give it a longer term preservation. I don't know exactly how it works, but somehow just that charcoal surface on the wood protects it from breaking down. It also seems to help a lot inside of the animals' cages, cutting down on odor. I guess maybe it's like the charcoal effect, but also it seems to be there's less infestation of fleas and lice and stuff like that in some of the cages we've done this in. I'm not sure if that's just chance or if that is actually something that happens with the method, but I'll be treating a cage right now, and for sure the high temperatures will kill any eggs or anything that's left in the cage when you do your method. But I'm going to be doing it right now, and I just want to show you guys how I go about it. I'm going to take a propane torch used for killing weeds and stuff like that. Get her started up. Now it just rained, so I'm pretty sure that it's a good time to do it. I'm gonna thoroughly wash this out with water, and that's just to make sure that no embers are left behind. And then after I've done that, we should be good to go. I'm gonna lay in my burlap, and then next time we go to clean the cage, just roll the burlap up and take it out, replace it, put some wood chips on top, some wood shavings, and we're good to go. So check that out. All right, so we're all done, and everybody had their wings clipped earlier. And we just clipped the outside edge of the wings. I can show you guys that next time if you haven't seen it before. We got the water addition here. We show Sugiban the whole inside, and everybody seems to be pretty happy. We got some food over here, and don't forget your greens. Greens really important. And check out this little thing we made. It's a 4-compartment deal that gives them each kind of a little private spot. And they don't really use it much, but I thought it was kind of a cute idea to improve the amount of floor space they have. They can climb up here, get up on top, and I'll put some grain and stuff up here sometimes, and kind of a fun little thing for them to do. So check in next time.